Welcome back to the Detroit Fan Forum. I'm Mark. And right now, we're sitting in a situation where I don't think the Lions are going to make the playoffs, and I don't think you think it either. I think you're ready to throw the season or throw the towel in on this season. I think you're ready to sell your season tickets. I think you're ready to take to Facebook and start bashing them. Um, Guys, they're hanging on to their playoff hopes. But the Pistons are suddenly one of the hottest teams in the league right now. Um, Win streak was ended, but it's back up again. I mean, they just look dominant, right? As long as they're playing good defense and minimizing turnovers, they're just looking like a team that's unstoppable. Um, Red Wings, well, they're sliding again. We had another one where an overtime loss. Can't win it in shootout. They just look lazy. They look flat. They look unmotivated. I know they're kids, but yeah. And then we got the Tigers, guys. Um, Everybody else in baseball is starting to make some decisions. I think we need to too. So I'm breaking it down. You got to let me know how you feel. Make sure you're hopping in, subscribing, and liking. Chances are, if you're watching it this early in the live, you already subscribed to this channel, and it wasn't my cool thumbnail that brought you in. But if it was, click the button. Check us out on YouTube and Spotify. The Spotify channel is really growing. We're putting out episodes every week on Spotify. I got 2 episodes coming out on Spotify and YouTube. We're on here live, plus the 2 episodes, plus all the shorts, plus all the clips, plus you've got Hermdos hockey stuff that's out. So yeah, make sure you're joining us. Um, but yeah, back to our Lions, man. Um, well, maybe they're not your Lions anymore. Um, but let's start with them. The team went from feeling like a playoff lock to everybody refreshing playoff simulators on their phone. The odds were high, now they've dipped. And you can feel the tension in the fan base. Dan Campbell is sticking with play calling. Love it or hate it, that's just who he is. He's going to go with his own decisions, not hand the sheet off midseason. He's just not giving it back. I don't see that happening. On defense, we need guys like Kirby Joseph to come back. That's going to be huge. I hear it's a bone fracture or bone bruise right now. But he's the best safety in the league. We can't have him out for the rest of the season, right? So even if he's not 100%, though, I'm telling you, his ball hawking ability, it just changes the game. But the bigger story is just the vibe right now. We had a stretch where it felt like everything was lining up, that we were going to be heading off to the Super Bowl, and now it feels like we need help from other teams just to get back to where we thought we were. It's pure Detroit football. We're sitting in the lows right now, so I got a question for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that they're still going to make the playoffs? Are you riding with MCDC right now, or are you just going to mail it all in? You let me know. Me personally, I think that we're sitting in a situation where the uh, the villain known as Brad Holmes and MCDC, guys, they're like batting 750 right now, and at some point your average is going to go down. They've done a phenomenal job rebuilding this team, stacking it with talent, drafting, locking everybody up in contracts, putting something together that's long term. Um, it sucks looking short term because yeah, you want to throw the towel in on the season and say just get me to the draft, get me to free agency, but that within its own is not a realistic. And I'm going to kick it always back to the Bills fan base, right? Every year they're in contention for the Super Bowl, and every year they don't win it, and it's a roller coaster, right? So we're seeing a lot of teams being humbled this year, and we're seeing a lot of new franchises kind of having that 15-2 love the Lions had previously. So hey, it is what it is, right? The Broncos are hot right now. The Cowboys are hot right now. The Bears are hot right now, but nobody's winning with like lights out shutdown football, right? So the NFL is wide open. And basically, it's what I'm trying to say. As much as we want to give it to these high market Illuminati like teams, it's still wide open. So, but anyways, big thing we got to talk about, guys, is Detroit basketball. I'm telling you, they've gone from this nice little story to okay, I need to start watching, right? They've ripped off a big win streak. They tied franchise history, and even when that snapped, right? Cade Cunningham himself missed a free throw. Um, They're still dropping monster numbers. It was Boston that the game they snapped, which was an amazing game to watch, and then they lost to the Magic, which again tight game. They had a 10-point, 12-point win. It just went back and forth, and then you see the streak come back with their win last night. So that was really cool. That was really fun to see. Again, you're seeing them go up by 20, and then that lead comes back down to 4. So it just depends on what kind of basketball they want to play. But if they play strong defense and they eliminate turnovers, then they're winning that game. There are just so many scorers. Tobias Harris almost had 30. Cade's putting up 30. Duran's putting up 20. So when you're having two guys probably have like MVP level seasons right now, the sky's the limit. It just depends on you're in control, right? So, and that's what we look at with Cade, right? We know he's the guy. He scores, he creates, he plays defense. It's not 2004 yet, but the building is starting to feel alive again. People are dusting off their Pistons gear and saying, you know what, this might be real. I.e., trying to get Hermdo a leather teal Pistons jacket. It's like $450 at Marketplace. So we need to get a GoFundMe going for him to get this jacket because I think it would look pretty sweet. And another thing, what I noticed about these Pistons is when they're on the road, they even seem more dangerous. They seem more determined. Not something I can say with a lot of our other baseball or our other sports teams right now, like the Red Wings, right? They seem to be sliding. They've hit one of those stretches that just kind of drives you crazy that we were warned about, where you go through 4 straight losses, tight games. They can't win shootouts. They're not getting blown out, which at some point it's easier to watch. And they're still getting points, but this is just kind of what it looks like when a team is stuck between up and coming and not quite there yet. They can skate with good teams. They can hang on the scoreboard, but they don't consistently finish like a playoff team. No one, I guess, called them a playoff team yet, but that's just my opinion on it, right? So, and if you're scrolling through your Reddit, you're going to see stuff like me make bad teams look good. Execution is brutal. Are we actually ready to take the next step, or are we just a tease? So for the Wings, I guess, question with you is if you had to choose, or I'm sorry, not if you had to choose, but which version of this team do you believe in more? The early season Wings that look like a dark horse playoff team, or this version that can't seem to close games? Let me know, rank it from like 1 to 10 for the Wings. And then our Deer Tigers seem to be at a crossroads. At least that's what I'm calling it. They're one of the most interesting sports, or they're in one of the most interesting spots in all of our sports teams right now. On one hand, you've got stars like Tarik Skubal and Riley Greene who feel like the face of the future. On the other hand, you've got a farm system that's loaded and getting close, and people talking about massive contracts or massive trades. So here's your crossroads. Do you lock in Skubal and Greene as your core players and pay them like it? Or do you entertain the idea of flipping one big piece for a huge haul? We're talking Skubal in this situation, obviously, because I think Riley Greene isn't going anywhere. And you try to build something like a mini dynasty around a wave of young talent. So I'm in the latter. I'm in the second portion of that one. But there are some sickos out there that want to pay Tarik Skubal and lock him up. The bats in the system are lining up for 2026. You got multiple prospects people are excited about, i.e. Kevin McGonigal, Max Clark. But you can't keep kicking that can down the road forever. Hermdo and I can't keep going. It'd be nice to get Max Clark and Kevin McGonigal again. At some point, you got to plant your flag and say, listen, these are our guys, and this is our window. We're doing it right now with the Red Wings, with the Lions, and I think we're starting to do it with the Pistons, right? So ultimately, keep Skubal and Greene, pay him, and ride with this core, which there are some people who I know want to do that, and then trade one of them for a monster package and bet on the long game, and that's just where I'm at right there. So you got to tell me which way you're going in that situation. I got a special guest right now. I got Uncle Hermdo sitting in the lobby. He he is going to. I should get him some entrance music. I need to get you some entrance music. Oops, where did I go?
Oh, hold on 1 second. How you doing? Where did I go?
Where did I go? He said, hold on. We're going to go back to grid.
Oh, there we go. How you doing, man? How's it going?
Oh, sir, I'm going good. I just had to come on here and just chew some of the fat, right?
Yeah, I dig it. It's been a pretty lousy sports weekend. One of the worst I can remember. Pistons did break their little 2-game losing streak, which is good. They look good. Cade scored 40 against the Magic. It was pretty wild. But yeah, Lions looking bad. Red Wings, 3 losses in a row. I know they still got points in that. They still got a point in that Bruins game, but they look pretty lifeless. Tigers, some Skubal talk, some stuff like that. There hasn't been a whole lot of movement on that front in the last few weeks, but yeah. So what's been going on? How was your holiday? First of all,
it was snow-filled. We went north to my in-laws up at Gaylord.
Okay.
And we caught a nice little Thanksgiving snowstorm, so it fit the bill as far as what you'd expect out of Gaylord. But it was nice. Got back. It'd been just honestly getting the house ready for Christmas.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's that time of year. I can't believe it's already the end of November. Tomorrow's going to be December 1st. I can't believe it. I can't believe how goddamn quick this year went by, and it's already time for Christmas. All the Christmas stuff. I've been listening to Christmas music, watching Christmas movies, trying to get myself psyched up. Last year, I just wasn't in the mood. I let the whole season go by. I was just like, fuck it. I don't even think I think I put my tree up, and that was about it. But this year, I got a little more into it, yeah.
If you need help getting into it, I recommend getting and listening to the Indian Christmas carols. That's my. I'll have to send them to you. And
please do.
They're excellent. But yeah, no, tis the season. We're doing a big Christmas thing over here, so obviously we gotta get the house ready, and I'm getting the studio ready here to start doing recording of 2 people. So
very cool. Yeah, definitely.
You'll have to come over and do one live, and then I think when Levati's in town for Christmas, we're all gonna get together. I'll give you a date and a location. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Get all the SIJ kids involved.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just like the standalone Greg, quite honestly.
That's cool.
They got rid of Greg and they hired me. So
hell yeah, man.
Hell just works. I didn't go there, but I sure know all the stories and all the memories, and I enjoy poking at your childhood and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But,
Can we talk? I saw that thing you had little row on TikTok with the Green Bay Packers fan. Can I just say how god-awful the Green Bay Packers are, how shitty Jordan Love is, how god-awful their fans are, a bunch of backwards, white trash pieces of shit. I fucking hate the Green Bay Packers. I hate everything they stand for. I hope I hope Lambeau Field collapses in on itself during a game. I think Aaron Rodgers was a homo. I think Jordan Love is a bitch. Everything about the Green Bay Packers pisses me off. I mean, good job. I mean, that's the only thing they got to look forward to in Wisconsin. Wisconsin, the armpit of America. I hate Wisconsin more than I hate Ohio. And that's saying something because Ohio is the asshole of America.
Did you know that the Taliban, their number 1 team, it's the Green Bay Packers? They're big fans.
Yeah.
So yes,
the Taliban
the official team of the Taliban are the Green Bay Packers.
They commit. Jordan Love is in ISIS.
Yes.
Yeah, they're in Hezbollah. It's really, they hate America. They want to destroy America. They want Muslim supremacy. But some people are going to run their mouths. Okay, the Packers got us this season. That's the thing. Lions came on because the Lions have been dominating the Packers for the last few seasons. The Lions chased Aaron Rodgers out of Detroit. The Lions made Jordan Love look foolish. But it's just
well, and you know what, dude? All the years of us losing, it was always because we weren't the better team. Right?
Yep.
We were always so frustrated with the way our team was constructed, the way our roster was constructed. We were always so frustrated with everything but the game, right? So now that we like our team, now that we like our players, we like our coach, we like our GM.
Yep.
Yes, we're not going to go 12-0 every time we play them, right? That's not
No.
how it's going to be. We beat ourselves, and that's this whole season's on us, right? Dan
Yep.
Campbell said, what did he say? Discipline and something else was the were the two
Execution?
things.
Did he say that?
No, it wasn't execution. I just made a
Oh.
fucking video for it too.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I know, and I totally just stole his little quote. Now I can't even remember what it was.
No, it's
It was,
okay.
it was
okay.
detail and discipline, and he said that's the
Detail and
two things they're
discipline, yeah.
lacking, right? And it starts with him, and it's true. We are lacking detail in the game planning and discipline in the execution. So I guess
Yes.
yeah, you're right.
We are.
But I guess this is one of those situations where Johnny Morton, I'm assuming, is going to be gone after this season. It just doesn't seem like that's going to be.
No, he's not a good
anything.
fit.
He's not, and maybe we do need somebody who's going to take what we have and just add a little extra piece and validate the fact that that's probably why you do have an offensive coordinator. So
Yeah.
I'll have to eat my words on whatever support I gave John Morton, but yeah, it's affecting us in the detail and the discipline. Now
Yeah.
Kirby Joseph
just-
is injured, but that we've battled storms before, right? Mm-hmm. So
How about that Frank Ragnow situation? That was a real, tease there for a while. Like, oh, he's coming back. Our O-line's going to be solid again. He's going to be the anchor of the O-line again. I mean, then all of a sudden, oh, he failed his physical. He's not coming back this year. The whole thing just crumbled, and it was just a kick in the balls. And then the Kirby Joseph news, and then it's just one kick in the balls after another for Lions fans. Just this whole season's been a big disappointment. They could still rattle off. They could still scrape and claw their way to 10, 11 wins, maybe. But overall, like, the tenor is very low. This team, with this division this year, I mean, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're in the NFC East, or I'm sorry, you're in the NFC South, which is historically a bad division. Sorry, JP.
Yeah.
There's times where there's an under 500 team going in the playoffs, right? So
Yeah.
it's a good division. It's a bad year to be a above mediocre team, right?
Yep.
And the shitty thing is everybody knows what this team's capable of. Everybody knows Goff is capable of a 160 QBR. Everybody knows JMO, St. Brown are capable of almost 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Everybody knows what Montgomery and Gibbs are capable of. Everybody knows what Branch, Kirby Joseph, and fucking Aiden Hutchinson and all these guys, dude, when they're playing at their most detailed and disciplined, we know they're going to put up 48 on you. But
Lions are a force of
they're
nature when everything's
being
clicking.
when they're playing lazy, though, right? And you
Yeah.
can't just say injuries, but when they're playing and they're lacking detail and they're lacking discipline, then we're getting a fart burger, dude. We're getting kind of what Philly's going through right now, and they're
Philly, baby. Oh man, I mean, a lot of good teams are feeling it. Buffalo had a few bad losses. The Ravens, I know they won 5 in a row, but they just lost again. They lost. I can't remember who they lost to, but
I guess
Kansas
this
City.
helps.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman said, Bill Belichick always said it only matters how you play after Thanksgiving. That's the key to the winning in the NFL. So
He's not wrong.
With that being said, Thanksgiving is over, and we play the fucking Cowboys.
The Cowboys who beat the last 2 Super Bowl teams, the last teams that were in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs. Chiefs are having a disaster of a season.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that, but that's a mess. So a lot of bad teams, a lot of good quarterbacks are struggling this year. Lions are no different. Lions are still 7-5. It's still a solid record, but all the
been raised. That's the biggest.
It's just been, there's been so many negative storylines, and you look and it's just not the same product it's been the last couple of years. The hunger just doesn't seem to be there. The good, just a lot of guys just really aren't living up to their potential. And you got I really got to question some of the usage of JMO and David Montgomery and guys like that. Like, what are their roles in this offense? What are we doing with Isaac Tesla? Questions about that. Aiden Hutchinson.
Creative scheming. Right
yeah. Yeah. And Aiden Hutchinson, he's disappeared for certain games for certain lengths of time. It kind of sucks because he just gave him that nice, big, fat fucking deal. But, It's just like
and
what's
there's the
this
caveat.
yeah.
Everybody has a deal now. So Aiden
Yeah.
Hutchinson, J-Mo, everybody we love except for, and we know they're getting this Gibbs and some of these guys in the next draft class, but we see what they're doing. They're locking up all these guys that we like from their draft class.
Yeah.
Our bigger issue, dude, and we'll skip right to it, is a lack of partner for Aiden Hutchinson and clear need for elevated offensive line play. And that's
Yes.
really what this comes down to.
Absolutely. And the fact, and as much as I compliment Brad Holmes, as much as I think he's head and shoulders above all the other Detroit GMs, but the fact he has just kind of sat on his hands and had this whole mantra of we good, we good, we good, as the Lions continue to flounder this season, and he doesn't want to add anybody in free agency. It's really been a big source of frustration for me as a Lions fan. What are we doing here, Brad? What are we doing here? It's the team is failing in a lot of ways. It's really becoming a big mess.
So all good points. Now that you saw what Brad Holmes did or did not do in free agency, now take a look at the state of the Pistons and the state of the Red Wings, and what are you going to expect the Red Wings and the Pistons to do in free agency, right? How do you want them to be? How do you expect them to play? Do you want the Pistons to literally do what Brad Holmes didn't do and say, I have a magical season, I have a magical window right now, and just go fucking all in for a thing? Or do you want him to continue to be building for a solid future? Same thing with the Red Wings, dude.
Yeah.
Do you want to get tempted? Do you want to bite the fruit? Or do you want to literally sit on your hands like we're seeing Brad Holmes do, and he sacrificed a lot of short-term games for what we're thinking is long-term buyouts?
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know. You tell me.
We'll see. Well, with the Pistons, it's just like right now, the Pistons, last year they arrived. Last year they clawed themselves out of the basement. J.B. Bickerstaff, Trajan Langdon, some key moves he made, the additions he made, were able to help the Pistons in the long run. Cade Cunningham has arrived. The Pistons championship window, it is officially opened. It's officially opened. This team, as it's constructed, is very good, very competitive in the East. Right now, I mean, I've heard a lot of rumblings about the big one I've heard is Anthony Davis coming over here, and it would probably cost like Jaden Ivey and a bunch of pick swaps. I think the Lauri Markkanen thing too, that's way too rich for my blood. Right now, the Pistons are at a point right now. I don't want them committing all this cap. Like looking at some of these cap figures, the contracts they're going to be bringing in. I know it's all structured differently in the NBA, but now is not the time. I don't want to spend $50 million on Anthony Davis. Nope. I don't want that. That's just a silly move. And when it comes to the Red Wings, it's just like, well, back to the Pistons for a quick second. It's just like it's a very fragile kind of thing they're building, and I think like adding the wrong person to that locker room, kind of changing the culture up like that, adding a big name agent, free agent, not free agent, but a big name guy like Anthony Davis, that could really upset the equilibrium of this team. I don't think this team is poised. I don't think this team is poised to go on really a deep run right now. I think they could. I think they're definitely getting in the playoffs. I don't know if this is not a championship caliber team. I think if they add somebody like that, as the Pistons are constructed now, give it a couple more years and see where it goes. See if they can maintain this right now. But I don't think we got to bet the farm.
Give me vets.
Yeah, give me vets. Give me vets. Give me those guys. Give me, look at Duncan Robinson, Karis LeVert. Look what those guys have been able to do. Look at the young guys. Look what Jaden Ivey's doing. Look what Jalen Duren's doing.
Dennis Schroeder did for us last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Veteran shooters, and that's what Cade credited the turnaround in the locker room and turned the success to.
Exactly. We found
the vets, right?
Yes, exactly. That was a big thing. First couple years Cade was here, we didn't know who the complementary pieces were going to be, but now we found them. Now Cade is in rhythm. Now he's absolutely insane with how he's been doing. I think obviously guys like Tyrese Maxey are going to be outscoring him and stuff like that, but Cade is up there. Cade's up there. He's like, I don't know if I want to say he's a top 5 guy right now, but he's damn close. But switching gears to the Red Wings, I know I brought them up briefly, but the big thing now is Quinn Hughes. Now, Quinn Hughes was a guy, they took Philip Zadina, 6th overall. Quinn Hughes was the next pick. Quinn Hughes, one of the Hughes brothers, a huge a big guy, a big name, a big talent, I should say, on the Vancouver Canucks, a big beating heart of that team. Vancouver Canucks, they had a hot season a couple years ago, but they've kind of fallen off a cliff lately. They're looking to move assets. They're looking to move pieces. Quinn Hughes' name keeps getting brought up over and over again. Quinn Hughes is a Michigan guy. He could reunite, with the Wings. I mean, not, reunite, but kind of come back to like the Michigan family, I guess, in a way you could say that. He's a guy we definitely need. Imagine him playing on the top line with Moritz Seider. No disrespect to Simone Edvinsson or Axel Sandin Pellikka, but bringing that kind of defensive depth and scoring. Quinn Hughes, the guy's, look, he's not Paul Coffey, but the guy can still get you 70, 80, 90 points a year. He can still be that force, that dynamic force, that offensive defenseman, setting people up, getting the puck out, scoring those crucial goals. He's definitely a guy. He's definitely a massive, massive upgrade on the defense. What he would cost you is a lot. I don't know. That has not been Yzerman's MO to bring the big name guys here just yet. We're kind of dealing, but as JT Compher and Andrew Kopp and Ben Sherratt and those guys kind of in the next year or two kind of move off the roster. We're going to start clearing space. They're going to have a lot of cap room. I think now is the time. The Red Wings got to take that next step. Personally, I think this Wings team would benefit from Quinn Hughes more than the Pistons would benefit from like an Anthony Davis. That's just my layman take on it. That's just how I feel about it. But I think the Wings are further enough along.
Check this out, Herndo. We got a relevant basketball question, and I actually have an answer for this. Jay says, "Hey, I have a really killer." Or sorry, I'm going to bring that back. Off-kiltered question. Will Zion Williamson be anything? And this is someone also who always gets brought up in fucking trade talks. Great question.
Yeah.
I think this guy is a complete Greg Odom, dude. I think he is just a lump. The guy is capable
He's
of
always
putting
hurt.
up some monster scary numbers, but at what cost? He's always hurt.
Same thing with Anthony Davis. I think what's his name? Cooper Flagg actually played more games in the last year for the Dallas Mavericks than frickin' Anthony Davis did. But but Zion Williamson is just one of those guys. He's a frustrating guy because he just cannot stay healthy. This is just what Zion Williamson is. Just a brilliant, a good career. He's got the tools. He's got the talent. But the guy just cannot stay upright. Yeah.
Both from Kentucky. Both freaks in college. You just see a lot of these players peaking in college, really, and you wonder what it is. You just wonder because he hit that pinnacle in college, right? And had all that success that by the time he gets to the NBA, both those guys kind of just take a sit-back approach, which, dude, watching all this film of the guys we watched growing up it's ruthless in the NBA. It's mean, it's aggressive. At least it used to be. Yes, it is. So you just look at it and you go, wow, look at all these tools. And then you look at a guy like Dennis Jenkins, right? And
where did he come from?
The heart, right? Doesn't have any of the tools that Zion or AD have. Doesn't have any of the gifts that they have, but the desire to shoot, the desire to be on a team, the desire to contribute and be relevant. So great question, Jay.
Very good question. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is just what Zion Williamson is, just as it is right now.
Just a big poopy fart head. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Just kind of big. Whatever.
It's kind of what he looks like when he plays. He looks like he kind of smells a little bit. Like he's just kind of farty. You know what I mean?
That's funny. Don't be mean, Mark.
I'm just saying. At least Anthony Davis doesn't look farty. Zion looks like he's got a farty look to him. That's all.
Yeah, I guess in a way. I don't know if I'd use that exact word, but I get what you're saying. He looks like
no matter how much money he makes, he still cuts up little hot dogs and puts them in his SpaghettiOs.
Nothing wrong with that. That's tasty. That's some white trash. That's some white trash dinner there.
This is the thing, man.
Oh,
yeah. Go ahead, Hermdo.
I'm just reading this comment here. Do you think if he loses weight and comes back, he might be something, or does he have all his money and just going to rot? I don't know. He got his deal. He's got his contract and shit.
All the hot dogs he can get.
All the hot dogs he can get. It could be the issue with the NIL money. How these guys have no drive to be better. That's a storyline that's been surrounding professional athletes, not just in the NBA, But in all sports, you get paid and you stop giving a shit. You get your money. Some people are. I've seen a lot of that surrounding Aiden Hutchinson. Now he's doing a little disappearing act last couple games. I mean, I know he had 6 tackles for loss against the Giants, but I mean, Aiden Hutchinson's still a premium freaking defensive end. Don't get it twisted. But
I will say there's probably a little lack of detail and discipline. Yeah.
yeah, there's probably it just seems like it's a little bit sloppy. You don't hear his name called much. He's not like that. He doesn't seem to be like that dominating force like he was last year. Granted, he is coming back from an injury, but back on the point like Zion Williamson. Maybe the guy's just done. Maybe he's just like, fuck it, I got my money. That happens with a lot of guys. That's been a big thing. You make that big money, you get those max deals, and you're just well, fuck it. I don't know.
You look at him, right? He's a phenom, a spectacle for his size and ability at a certain age. Do you really think he's ever had to work for it? And that's a lot of knock on some of these guys that are just gifted it. And yeah, you're right. Once they make their money, listen, I'm pretty sure this shit's scripted. So if he's looking and saying, okay, I'm on this team, I make this much money, I just play this kind of balancing act of getting hurt, getting fat, getting skinny. It's about money or millions in memories, and that's exactly what this is about. So I don't blame him. I just laugh at the fans that think these players give 2 shits about us.
That's the thing. I mean, the Pelicans, what can you really say about the franchise? I mean, there's really not much. Yeah, they're the Pelicans. I know that the Pistons were a poverty franchise for about 15 years, but
we went over this. How was he drafted there? How did the Pelicans land that pick? Right?
That was the trade with. Yeah, that was. I think this is just
was giving it up. I mean, it's just that's the NBA's fault. They don't script their games as well as the NFL does. But the NBA is dying right now when it comes to star capability, star power too. It really
absolutely
is. I'm watching 138 to 135 game, and Paolo Banchero's not playing for the Magic, right? It's Desmond Bane, who's been traded I feel like 6 times. All these talented guys, but they just can't find this big star power, this big storyline. They're kind of like the WCW before they got Hogan. I don't know.
Yeah. It's just you need that element, That's just that's what it always revolves around. You're going to need a guy like that, and I don't think Zion Williamson is ever really going to be a guy that can carry you anywhere.
Nope.
I mean, but this is you're going to need a first overall pick or a second, at least a top 3 draft pick. You're going to need to be competitive. If it wasn't for Cade, just imagine where the Pistons would be without Cade. Just imagine what this team would look like without Cade. But you just imagine a lot of these teams without their first round draft picks. You could say it, their first round, their first overall picks, their top 3 first round picks. Where would they be? Pistons would still be treading water. They'd still be just in the basement of the East, or they'd be mediocre, or just one of these teams with too high a floor, too low a ceiling, not going anywhere, just mediocre. But Cade, whether or not he can actually carry us somewhere, I think he's got a cast that can bring us some places down. I don't know if he's ready for a deep run to the Eastern Conference Finals or anything, but you could see the team being formulated. You could see it fitting together. But with the Pelicans, with Zion, I don't think it just is what it is. And like you said, millions of memories. I don't think he gives a shit about it beyond that. And it's whatever. The guy's just.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it is whatever. That's exactly it. Jay's asking now why Cooper Flagg would come out of college, because that was his story. That was his year, right? That was the year of Cooper Flagg. There was no coming back from that. Again, Zion, he got his pinnacle story. Anthony Davis, he got his story. They love the one and done in the NCAA because it's their chance to pin it. They don't have a franchise. They don't have Kentucky. They don't have Duke. Well, they have Duke, but essentially they needed that story. They needed him to go to the NBA. The NBA desperately needed that to happen. And that's where I'm saying this shit's scripted, because, yes, he could make way more money riding it out in the NIL and build a 4-year team like a Christian Laettner, a powerhouse at Duke. But that's not
Yeah.
what this is about. This is about him taking his brand, making it at the highest level that his brand was just dinging on all or firing on all cylinders.
Yes.
And now look at him. No one's talking about Cooper Flag. He's kind of
Yeah.
quieted down. Now, would I like to pull his rookie card? Sure, I'll take his rookie card. But there's no Wemby hype, right? There's way more hype behind Cade Cunningham. There was way more hype behind who else am I thinking of? But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot that's transitioned into excitement with Cooper
Yeah,
so far.
there's some guys. I mean, it was like a few. Like, I mean, can you name all like the top, like the top overall draft picks from like the last 5 years? I mean,
No.
I can think of Cade. I mean, who else really comes out that really jumps out at you? And I think a big reason, getting back to the Cooper Flag, NIL thing, fast tracking him to the NBA. I think the NBA, with LeBron's career winding down, whenever the fuck he's finally going to retire the next couple of years, I'm assuming. But the if it's not Jordan, if it's not Kobe, if it's not LeBron, the NBA needs a guy. Who are they going to be pushing out? For a while, I thought it was probably going to be Wembanyama, the way they built him up. But he's kind of, I see ESPN, they give me the highlights from him sometimes. Like, I don't want to see that shit. I don't care. But, I mean, he's like, fuck. I mean, I felt like maybe we should have gotten him instead of the Spurs. But, it's just one of those things. But, I mean, NBA needs another marketable, big-time guy, another generational kind of talent out there so they can sell his merch. They can build the storylines around him. They've been talking about, we've been getting LeBron updates for 20 years. Every time the guy gets a hangnail, I get an ESPN update about it. And who else in the NBA really right now? I mean, there's Luka Doncic and stuff, and there's other guys. Like there's Anthony.
Luka's doing what Luka always did, though. Luka
Yeah.
did the same thing in Dallas, and then that just shows that whole trade to LA was a joke.
It was.
I mean, if you haven't figured out that these billionaire basketball owners, man, they're just buying brands. They don't give a fuck. They're impressing their girlfriend of a 65-year age gap.
That's
they
what
don't
the move.
care about basketball.
Yeah.
They're just buying a place for all
It's
their
a brand.
girlfriend's friends to sit courtside and be on TV. It's just a
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
brand, right?
Above everything else, the Lakers, a team like that, is just a brand. It's just a marketing opportunity. That's why you bring in the Luka Doncic's. That's why LeBron James is having this little, however long this like 5-year long retirement thing.
Look
Whatever
who
the fuck
sits
it is, he's gonna
courtside
leave the
for
league.
these games. These
Yeah.
aren't basketball fans.
Yeah, they're just it's celebrity. It's this big Hollywood circle jerk. That's all the Lakers are right now. That's all the Lakers are. And everything that Kobe built, it's just like I feel like, I mean, in the LeBron era, whatever semblance of like the actual championship pedigree, like the Magic Johnsons and whatnot, it just like it kind of fell to the wayside, and now it's just like this big celebrity clout brand circle jerk. But
Can you afford spending $2,000 to $10,000 per ticket, because that's what courtside costs?
Fuck that.
And I sat courtside a long time ago, and I know that that level of whatever you want to calculate for inflation wasn't there. So yes, in this, it's a joke, dude. It's an absolute joke.
It is. I hate seeing that happen to basketball, because basketball is such a entertaining, fun sport. The athleticism on display, it's really incredible. And just to me, I don't know. I mean, but there's always, I don't know, like how do you compare like the LeBron era to like the Michael Jordan era? Was it the same kind of thing with like you just feel it was like a different kind of energy, I mean, Michael Jordan was in Space Jam, LeBron was in Space Jam 2. You see like the kind of celebrity culture building up around it. It exists in pretty much all sports, except really for hockey. No one gives a shit about hockey. No one really knows like a Sid or a Macklin Celebrini or
there you go. You remember
Alex Ovechkin or whatnot. But
you're not going to remember this, and neither will I. But the Yankees in the '50s with baseball. Do you remember that era? Like how classic baseball was. That's how the '90s were with basketball. We'll never get that again. That was so magical. The 50s with baseball was the 90s with basketball. The 90s hockey. You'll never get that again.
No.
You had worlds colliding, right? So you had the sports globalizing, which was so important, right? So you had hockey globalizing in the 90s to the umpteenth level where we're smuggling players out. And then you had same thing with like just basketball globalizing to the European game with Tony Parker and Monty Ginobili and Dirk Nowitzki and all these type players. It's gotten so big and so globalized and so fat now that we've kind of lost the core principles of these leagues. And
Yeah.
we'll just never see it at its primo again. Now the
No.
NFL is probably is what we're seeing right now is on a big decline. As expensive the tickets are, the game
Yes.
itself is on a huge decline. It really is. And you just look at these games and the way that you're going, oh, dude, the NFL is going to start looking like the NBA real fucking soon.
Yeah.
Real soon.
The NBA is falling off. I hate to say it. You know, the NFL is I mean, baseball too, they're struggling too. I mean, baseball is seen as kind of like this old, like stale, majority white sport, you know, and it just
Well,
only
Paul,
appeals
how
to
about
people.
this?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, sir. You have the ability now to watch these experiences at home, projected in 4K, where the players are pretty much in your living room for relatively free. Why
Yeah.
am I paying $675 a ticket per seat, plus parking, plus the chaos, plus the food, plus it's no longer a treat to go to a game. It's more of
Yeah.
a chore to go to these
Yes.
games. It's
The
a lot
chore.
of work and a lot of money to go to
Yeah.
these games, right? So back in the day, it was like, oh shit, we're going to a baseball game. This is going to be a fun day. Baseball is kind of a bad example. It's a little bit more relaxed, but a Lions game. Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
know, now it's like, dude, holy shit. Get your battlefields ready. Get your
Yeah.
wallet out. It's $16 a beer. It's $48 for popcorn. It's $100 for parking, dude. I'm not kidding. Yeah, so fuck it, right? Like, the experience
Yeah.
isn't worth going to anymore.
It's a real shame, but it's true. It's true. It's just it's too much. It's a pain in the ass. It's an absolute pain in the ass. The process has only gotten more complicated. They have not successfully streamlined the process of buying tickets, finding seats, getting concessions, entering, exiting, parking. It's all very complex, very stressful. You know, getting into the game, it's like you feel like it's like. And if you stay till the end of the game, then you got to wait in traffic for an hour to get home. It's a big mess. It's just like, or if you're in the stands, I mean, just imagine. I was watching the Michigan game, all those people in the stands screaming, jumping up and down, just to watch that dog shit against Ohio State, that freaking run first bullshit. But you know, I mean, but you just imagine, like you're in that huge stadium, you're like all the way down close to the lower bowl, and you got to take a piss. You got to walk up this huge flight of stairs. It's pouring rain. It's miserable. It's cold. You got to find somewhere. Either you got to hold your piss, or you got to walk like a mile to the freaking nearest bathroom. Hope that all the stalls aren't taken up. Hold that the trough or whatever they got in there. You know, but just a big pain in the ass. You know, everything. It's just, you know, I consider myself a little bit more casual. It just doesn't appeal to me. You know.
No. We had really nice seats at the Lions game for the New York, and my wife is like, I'd still rather watch this at home. It's just more, like, I can see it better. I can, and yeah, it's crazy, dude. I can't do $18 beer night. I can't.
No.
It's out of control, right? And I looked up the average cost right now of a ticket price to the NFL is $475, right?
Good God.
That right? Like, that's just crazy.
Imagine if like a family of 5. That's going to cost you like $2,500 almost. It's going to cost you over $2,000 just for the tickets, just to get in the damn stadium.
Yep.
It's insane.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
insane. You know, I mean, fuck it. I'm watching it at home. I'm going to spend, if I'm going to spend $2,000 on anything, I'm going to spend $2,000 on a 60-inch OLED flat screen, and we're going to watch the game in super high def. Fuck that shit. I'm going to buy a premium fucking sound system so we can hear every fucking tackle through the surround sound. I'm not fucking around. I'm doing it the old. Just give me a fucking home theater. I'm not traveling down there, especially with cities like Detroit, where your safety is not guaranteed exactly. But you know, it's too much of a pain in the ass, and it's a big reason. You know, sports, it's losing. You know, I mean, look at the Tigers. You know, I mean, look how good. Like the first half of the season, they were kicking ass. They looked like a 100-win team, but still, people just weren't going to the games, and it's just. There's a
People
lot
still
of empty
really
seats.
aren't going to the Pistons games too. You're seeing a lot of empty seats.
There's a lot of empty seats. What is the percentage of companies that buy up tickets and give them to their employees? That's an excellent question.
Yep.
That's an excellent question, Jay. I'd imagine that's probably quite a few. A lot of corporate ticket owners or what have you. Yeah, that probably plays a pretty big factor. Hey, man, I got to run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, 60 to 70% of season ticket sales to individual buyers, and the other 40% to corporate buyers. So we don't have a full-on stat, but yeah, I think that's a great question. You look at a lot of those suites, they're corporate-owned suites. A lot of these the season ticket packages are corporate-owned, and I mean, quite honestly, we could buy our own tickets and make our own corporation up and make it that much easier. But yeah, I don't know. That's why I think you're seeing look at the Super Bowl. How many people, you and me, are going to have an honest, fair stab at that versus, like you said, Pepsi, Coke, all the big three, all the tech companies. I mean, and then you look at those companies. Who are they sending in these games? It's not like we're talking about like real true sports fans, right? So I will say this: if you want true fans, go to the WWE events because those are like insane true fans. You know, nobody is buying corporations or buying WWE. Well, I don't know. It's getting pretty big now, but those are diehards. I think WWE and NASCAR are two of your sports teams or your sports events where the fans are true. But yeah, let's talk about those new Tiger seats. That's
Did
why
they finally upgrade that stadium?
Fucking sat empty. Well, those Tiger seats behind home plate.
Oh yeah.
They jacked them up in price and nobody sat in them, right?
Yeah,
So
I know.
it's crazy though that stadium is considered old now, and it was built in 2000, and it's obviously 25 going on 26 years old. But
Yeah.
not too long ago, Comerica Park was the talk of the town.
Yeah,
Belle of the ball.
it was brand new. It was a fun, cool stadium, and I still like Comerica Park. I like Comerica Park because when you go to the games, you really feel like you're in the middle of a city. Some other teams, they build their stadiums like miles outside of town. Like with the Lions, you had to go all the way to the Silverdome. With the Pistons, you had to go all the way to the Palace, and those were good venues. Don't get me twisted, but it's just at the same time, it's just like now you feel like you're actually downtown. You feel like you're in the heart of Detroit watching the Detroit Tigers, and that's a cool experience of the game. But I mean, overall, the stadium itself, I mean, maybe it's not the most amazing. It's pretty. I check like stadium like rankings and stuff like that. It's usually Comerica's usually firmly in the middle. Not great, not bad, but
Yeah, I mean, I laugh when people say it's old and outdated, but it's like I don't know, it's still pretty modern compared to some of these places. But
yeah, they need to update a little bit. But
yeah, but they'll tell you what, dude. I still want it to be about baseball. I want it to be about the sports. Like if you go to some of these, like if you go to LCA, it's a mall, and then there happens to be something that goes on down in a pit. Like LCA to me is just so. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of LCA.
I've heard I've heard very mixed reviews about LCA.
Have you not been to LCA?
I have not yet. I went down to JLA a few times, but I've not been to LCA yet. I got to get to a Pistons game. I went to the Palace. I've been to Ford Field. I have not been to LCA. I have not been to.
You're not missing much, dude. Really.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. Well, that was part.
I went. I had. We were like almost on the ice, and it just still didn't feel that comfortable.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. I think the Wings deserve better. I mean, the Wings are probably, the most historic franchise in the frickin' city of Detroit. I mean,
yeah, they sold
winning
us
this
on a bigger,
franchise.
better arena. That's all I'm saying. That thing was supposed to be something
all that
bigger,
frickin'
badder, and cooler, and it became kind of a micro version of what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and that frickin' Little Caesars, that roof treatment. It's supposed to be that glowing Red Wings insignia, but no, it's just that frickin' Little Caesars logo. It's just like, you fucking Illich motherfucker, you fucking asshole.
You know what? And this drives me nuts because Jay said this too. Why not move people down in those seats for TV presence? I wonder the same thing. And you're at those games where they're getting blown out, and you try to move down, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" It's like, dude, what? No one's down there. Like,
I know.
What are you waiting on, bro? And
no one's
LCA
watching the Wings. Yeah.
The ushers at LCA are awful. They're
Really?
worse than ice. They're awful, dude. You'll walk around and you're looking, and they're like, "Can I help you? Get right here. Can I help you? Do you know where you're going?" And there's like 7 on you. Do you know? And it's just like, go away, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like they're just,
just the fan experiences in these. It's just all the all the Detroit sports venues are pretty new considering I mean, it's not like Fenway. You know, it's not like Dodger Stadium that was built in the '60s. You know, it's not like some of these other venues like the Madison Square Garden or the what have you. But you know, it's just the Detroit sports venues. I can mostly talk about it as a Detroit sports fan because obviously I've been. You know, you go downtown sometimes to watch this stuff, but it's just like the Detroit sports venues. I like Ford Field too, but they're just kind of mid, to say the least.
They are.
They're mid.
And then the sports venues themselves have had like this identity crisis. If they're not like, if there isn't 70-inch TVs inside each toilet, then it's a piece of shit. Like it's a really, really strange back and forth. But
yeah.
Anyways, listen, Hermdo, I've been on here for almost an hour. I've got to wrap things up and head upstairs and venture off. But Tuesday night, I need you on here to record. We're going to have a special guest. Matt Nielsen will be joining us.
Okay. I will be free. Hold on. Let me check one thing really quickly. I will be free on Tuesday, so we can definitely record.
Nice.
Beautiful.
So Nielsen will be joining us. And
very cool.
Yeah, we'll go from there, and we'll talk about everything else cool. And appreciate everybody hopping on. We got Jay, who's been active in the chat. We've got lots of people I see that are watching on Twitch and YouTube. Like, subscribe. I threw up some more cool stuff on the screen. I don't know if you can see it, everybody. Just check us out on Spotify too. That thing's blowing up. And then Hermdo's page. Gotta like Hermdo's page.
I got a lot of stuff coming out. All sorts of good stuff.
I love it, dude.
Yep.
I take all my burner accounts and I like to get all into your comment section.
Yeah, I knew that was you fucking stalker.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
Peace.